Hello, this is Lily White, reading from my book, Be Yourself Unless Yourself Sucks. This is the introduction. I was well into my late 30s before I caught on that other people were in no way responsible for my own happiness. Playing the blame game, chronic complaining, and a negative attitude are just a few of the many culprits that led to recurring bouts of severe depression and health-damaging destructive behavior. It didn't help that my self-worth was rock bottom either, but those were not my only problems. The fact is that every issue listed in the Blocks to Health and Happiness in Section A of this book, which I call the obstacles, are also my own. Not knowing you have a problem is a problem in itself. You simply can't change what you're not aware of. Even when I did eventually become aware of my shortcomings, admitting it was not easy, not even to myself. I believe most of our negative thinking and behavior is learned. I learned mine from my family, as many of us do, and in later years, from the cynics and naysayers I regularly associated with. My pessimistic nature blended right in with theirs, so I never questioned that being a chronic complainer with a bad attitude was anything but normal. Whenever I was in the company of obviously happy people with bubbly personalities, I'd feel strangely ill at ease. In fact, during a time when I worked with a marketing team of perpetually good-natured individuals oozing with positivity, I actually thought they were the ones who had issues. As I said, I did eventually become aware of my off-putting behaviors and how they negatively affected my health and happiness in a multitude of ways. It was around the time one of my 3 marriages fell apart when I decided to go all out to make self-improvement one of the primary goals in my life. I won't go so far as to say I turned into an obsessed self-help junkie, but it was close. I regularly attended motivational seminars, went to group therapy, single therapy, tried meditation, listened to relevant tape recordings while driving around in my car, and read a lot of self-help books, or self-improvement as they are more commonly referred to these days. Years ago, I recall reading a book on the subject of overcoming low self-worth that advised the reader to look into the mirror every morning and repeat the following 2 phrases. There is nothing wrong with you the way you are right now. And you are already the best you can be. Even then, I knew that if I repeated those lines a million times over, I would never actually believe them. To a certain extent, affirmations do help to program your subconscious mind with positive messages, which is always desirable, but it takes more than mere affirmations to produce genuine, lasting change. The negative behaviors and psychological issues we struggle with as adults are nearly always rooted in early childhood. It's just not possible to undo years of ingrained negativity without taking action. But what sort of action? Experience has taught me that perceptible improvement can only be achieved by following a practical, focused plan that includes repetition, repetition, and more repetition. None of the books I had read over the years offered the kinds of strategies and double action plans that lead to real and lasting change. That's why I wrote this book. If I were to summarize what it's about in a single sentence, I'd say, Be Yourself is a results-oriented self-improvement guide packed with practical strategies designed to help overcome some of the most common health and happiness robbing emotions and behaviors experienced by the majority of humans. Somewhere down the road, you may realize that it's not so much about being yourself as much as it is about becoming yourself, the best self you can possibly be.